The King's Festivities Road. It is a 3,500-year-old road that is 2.7 miles long and about 250 feet wide, connecting the Temple of Karnak and Temple Luxor. It has been discovered in the city of ancient Thebes, present-day Luxor, where sphinxes and ram-headed statues line both sides. Date: the construction of the Rams Road began during an era the state was modern and was completed during the reign of the dynasty ruler 30 we chose the first, 380 to 362 BC, but the road was buried under layers of sand over the centuries. The first trace of the road was found in 1949 when the Egyptian archaeologist Zakaria discovered Gonaim has 8 statues near Luxor Temple, with another 17 unearthed from 1958 to 1961 and 55 excavated from 1961 to 1964, all within a circumference of 250 meters. From 1984 to 2000, the entire path of the walkway was finally marked, leaving excavators to reveal the road, but it was difficult as it entailed demolitions to make way. The Kabash Road development project started in 2007 and stopped in 2011, then resumed work in 2017 until 2021. The description: the Rams Road consists of a stone pavement in the middle of the road and is lined on both sides by about 1,300 statues that take the forms of a complete ram, a ram's head on a lion's body, and a human head on a lion's body. The Rams Road connects the most important monuments in Luxor, and its statues were carved from sandstone. The road extends from Karnak Temple to Luxor Temple, with a length of 2,700 meters. The Way of the Rams is known as the Way of Processions of the Gods and goes back to the era of the 8th family 10 of the ancient Egyptian state during the reign of Queen Hatshepsut to celebrate the feast Repent before the way disappears under the ground with the passage of centuries and the succession of times. The original 1,057 statues are on the way, and they are divided into 3 forms. The first figure is the body of a lion with a ram's head erected on an area of approximately 1,000 feet between the Karnak Temple and the Mud area during the reign of the ruler of the New Kingdom, Tut. Amun. The second figure is a complete ram statue, built in a remote area during the 18th dynasty, Amenhotep III before it was later transferred to the Karnak complex. The third figure, which includes the largest part of the statue, is a statue of my father Al-Hol, the body of a lion and the head of a human, and the statues extend over a mile to Luxor Temple. Renovation and Grand Opening. On November 25, 2021, Egypt opened Rams Road to the public in the presence of Egyptian President Abdel Fattah Sisi in Luxor, with great fanfare, after she completed the restoration work that took more than 7 decades. The march included participants in pharaonic costumes, a symphony orchestra, light effects, professional dancers, boats on the Nile, and horse-drawn carriages. At the beginning of the celebration, there were 3 sacred boats designed in the pharaonic style, walking in the heart of the Nile River amid dazzling lights, and these sacred boats were designed in the Nile to symbolize the Holy Trinity of Thebes, Amun, and Mut and Khonsu, which are the symbols of the celebration of the feast of the Opet of the ancient Egyptians. And the priests had to perform these rites twice a year, the first on the Feast of Harvest, and the second on the Feast of the Ascension of the King. Thus, this road, which is called the Royal Processions Road, is the oldest religious ceremonial road in history. Great edifice. The celebration of the beautiful Feast of Amun and Opet was much more than the celebration of other deities, as it was the celebration of the entire people. The feast celebrations begin from the Karnak Temple, where the clergymen prepare for the procession, and they head inside the temple halls in search of the prepared boats placed on their bases, and the boats that will be carried and related to the gods of Thebes, and the largest of these boats was the boats of Amun, whose front end was preceded by 2 rams, which adorned the front and rear of the boat. The sacred cabin in Luxor Temple receives the statue of Amun carried with majesty and holiness on the royal boat, to be inhabited once a year for several days. This journey extends parallel to the Nile, contrary to the usual designs of the ancient Egyptian artists and engineers, as the main axes of the temples are usually perpendicular to the course of the Nile River, taking the axis of direction from east to west. As for the Luxor Temple, the obituaries and the crowd of the procession would enter the shrine, passing through the parallel road to the Nile, which is the Royal Road or the Road of the Holy Rams. The god Amun is at the same time the god of fertility and growth among the ancient Egyptians, so that visitors heading from Karnak Temple to Luxor Temple, while they are still at a great distance, see the distinctive external shape of the huge stone gate of the Luxor Temple, or as it was known in the past as the greatest edifice.